Mm.
We back. Another live episode of the Closers. Watching the Warriors and Rockets game 7. Winner goes on to the next round. And we got a special birthday shout out to my cousin Jelani Hendrickson here. Turned the big 35. He's in that unk status. Happy birthday, man.
Man.
Happy
Man,
birthday.
before we thank you, I appreciate that, Mark. But I'm not an unk yet. I don't care what nobody say. Like, I feel like I'm not an unk until like 40, 45. I'll say 45. Then you if I make it to 45, you can call me unk, bro. But 35, come on, man.
Nah, you
Nah, bro.
we unks now.
Man. I don't not to your 40s.
Hey, you know what? Look, so it's a trip. So a couple weeks ago or last week, my boys, my sons, they both teenagers. They brought this categories of what stage you're in.
Yeah.
Hawaiian stage. And
yeah.
29 to like 38, 39-ish.
Uh-huh.
So we officially came unks.
Man.
Nah, I feel like we more like big bro. I definitely take big bro. I'm definitely that. Yeah. You 22, 23, I'm definitely the big bro.
Yeah, we in that unk status, man. I had the same feeling.
My kids still babies.
Dang. Yeah, look like I think we had mixed feelings on who was gonna win this series. We had some of us said the Warriors. I think I flip-flop. I think I flip-flop multiple times throughout the series. I do think I've said if the Rockets get to a game 7, I think they'll win. But I'm waving the flag right now. Like I think it's over. I don't see a comeback of no sort. Like they look overmatched. Thompson is cramping up or hurt. So what's gonna hurt though when they go home this summer and go to Cancun and all that is they lost this game with Steph Curry scoring. He might finish with under 15.
Yeah. Where he's at right now, like 13?
Something 13, 10. I know he just got in the double digits.
Yeah, because he came out the fourth quarter and he scored, taking 5 straight points.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at 8 before that. So
that's a shame. Because I bet if you tell the Houston Rockets we're gonna limit Curry to 15 points, they feel in their heart, we're gonna win that. There's no way we're gonna lose that, and here we are. But
12.
12 is not a lot, but I don't see it happening. I'll take something.
Well, you know what I was gonna go back to was prediction. If I'm not mistaken, it was us coming off that game 2 when Jalen Green, had the massive game, the 38 points. And if was it fifth, y'all be drunk. But if you sustain that, not even a 38, but just been a consistent 19, 20 points, I think Houston would have been the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think it's definitely this was a Jalen Green. We said this was a time for him to step out into stardom or whatever to make a name for himself. But other than that game too, he showed up short. And Thompson, he's been amazing, for the Rockets. He's been the best player on the team on both sides of the floor.
Right.
He's the big reason why, Steph is, having a tough time getting shots up.
Right.
And that's, him and his brother in Detroit, Asur, did the same thing with Jalen Brunson. Like these are two dudes who, you know, they gonna be some really, really good basketball players, but they, you know, both falling short. Both go get eliminated in the first round. That was almost a good block. Yeah, and I got one thing that also threw me off about this game, especially the start. You know, we all, you know, consider Ime Udoka, you know, one of the better coaches in the NBA. But why did it seem like the plan and the goal to start the game off was to put Alfred Sengun one-on-one against Draymond Green? Like they just kept doing it, and he failed over and over and over. And I feel like that's why a part of the reason why they got off to a slow start and why they only have 72 points in the fourth quarter. But we talked about that. Why are they still trying Draymond Green like he's not as elite of a defender as he is?
I think, to me, honestly, I think that's their biggest advantage over the Warriors is his size. Even though Draymond's doing a hell of a job, I mean, Sengun is still at like what, 22, 23 points?
Yeah, so it's on bad percentage though.
Yeah, terrible percentage.
Yeah,
like their biggest, to me, that's their biggest advantage.
Right.
The most recognizable advantage in this game.
Right.
I mean, is the Sengun matchup with Draymond. But like you say, is forcing him to take bad shots. He's contesting everything. He's not fouling. He's he's Sengun in positions where he's shooting things off of one leg. He's shooting shots off of one leg.
Yeah.
Bottom of the shot clock when he's taking these shots. So it's to me, that's their biggest. Also, is really playing off in the Warriors' hands. Probably saying the Warriors, yeah, we'd rather him beat us than these young boys, because if they get up and running, that's their advantage.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with everything that was said. That's their advantage. It's like their advantage, but it's not an advantage because Draymond is so elite.
Right.
You know, I think the same way Rudy Gobert did the Lakers, they hoping that they guy can do that to the Warriors, but it's not happening because Green is such a versatile defender. And you have what's his name?
Looney.
Yeah, he was getting some minutes today. So they got the big bodies. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it was a bad decision, but I think they probably thought it gave them the best chance of winning.
Right.
Like, because when you look at it on paper, no, you're right. You know, you think you got the advantage with Sengun. You also, you hear another blown layup by Sengun. You also you expect Jalen Green to have a great series.
Yeah.
Right.
And your two best offensive weapons just didn't show up. Sengun is battling. He's not, playing terrible, but he's not playing. He doesn't look like an all-star. Van Vliet has played.
He's probably been the most consistent player the Warriors been.
Yeah.
Last three. He's kind of been the veteran of the team.
Right.
Through his play, through him being vocal, him yelling at Sengun early in the game, saying, "Man, get it going, wake up." You know what I mean? He's been a veteran, and he's never been put in a superstar spotlight to take over games.
Right.
So he's even pressing a little bit, but he's the only one that's equipped to play in these type of or this type of atmosphere where game is on the line. It ain't enough.
Look like they're reviewing the play. It looked like he was trying to push him into Jimmy. He was trying to push Jimmy Butler into Buddy Hield.
Right.
Missed the layup.
That was just that's frustration right there. Like,
yeah, but Jimmy Butler also like running slow in front of him on purpose.
Oh yeah.
Right. It'd be interesting to see if if that goes in the Houston favor. I could see it. It makes sense. Like, you shouldn't be able to get in somebody's way and just, stop.
Right. Did y'all see that egregious no travel call on Steph Curry under the
Oh
basket?
yeah. I knew I wasn't the only one seeing it.
Oh
It
my
was, he didn't even have to go up and under because he walked to it. He
Right.
just walked to the other side. Yeah.
I said, oh, did they miss that? How did they miss that call?
Yeah. That was crazy.
Mark, did you mean to send me that link or send it to somebody else?
Yeah, I sent it. I sent it. That's just the live stream or whatever.
Got you.
I sent it to you too, Mace.
Was it?
You put this in.
Yeah, I texted to you the live stream.
Oh, the live stream.
Hold up. Yeah, this ended up turning into the Buddy Hill game.
Right.
About time. Yeah. I've been waiting on him to do something.
Yeah.
I think the Warriors
right in game 7, perfect timing.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it for damn sure.
One thing I would like to shout out is the Warriors is playing defense.
Oh, yeah.
Their defense game it shows what a veteran team that's been knowing the what's at stake and already knowledge of being in tight games and having a defensive presence to kind of fuel that.
Mm-hmm.
You can just see the experience versus the inexperience.
Yep.
There's anything different on the offensive end, they're still just flowing, not pressure, doing too much, and they cranking it up. But that's of them having 2 superstars.
Yep. Nah, they like, you can't even tell that this game is in Houston. There's no home court advantage here. This is, the Warriors went out there and took over the whole building, and they've been in control, basically the whole game.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, without Steph Curry for the most part. Like, Steph is not having a great game. Like, he's just, he's hitting big shots when needed. And they're dominating this game. They, Rockets not gonna score 100.
Rockets not gonna score 90.
Yeah. Jimmy. Yeah, this is
playoff Jimmy, huh? And he's having a good game or a quiet game.
Right.
This is gonna be I'm gonna go ahead and just act as if this game is already over.
Yeah, I think it's safe to do it.
Yeah, this series, Wolves and this Warrior team, is gonna be a very interesting series.
Look at the defense. this is
yeah.
And watch Steph go put the nail in the coffin right now with a big 3. Bang. It's over.
Yeah, we've seen this movie 20 times. Like, we already know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like, you see how Amir Thompson is, like, he missed the layup right now, but he's been doing it all game. He's just, nobody else is really playing, and he's just going. He's getting it and going.
Yeah.
And man.
Yeah, he's a
12-0 run.
Yeah, it's over. Momentum is gone.
They sad. They sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's quiet out there.
There we go. They should have been playing with their food the last 2 games. They should have won it since 6.
Yep.
Yeah. So they could have been preparing for Minnesota already.
Yeah.
Yep.
They let Ant-Man get all that rest. That's gonna be a good matchup, man.
It is.
It is.
Oh, hold on. That's gonna be an amazing matchup. You know why it's gonna be amazing? We get Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert
Oh,
for a whole series.
We get Draymond and who?
Rudy.
Oh, yes. It's-
Yeah.
he gonna be beating them up. They're gonna be slap boxing after the game. It's gonna be good. Must see TV.
Oh man.
man, look. Out of all them great names in that series, y'all picked out Rudy Gobert and Draymond. Try on
It's gonna be technicals. That's all. Yeah, we go see some scrapping.
the entertainment is coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. But from a basketball standpoint,
Who gets the first catch?
it's Draymond.
Ooh.
Draymond for sure.
Draymond gets
sure.
the first one?
For sure. And now that he figured out how to get flagrants without getting technical, you know, Rudy might catch a bow.
I think at some point they gonna fight.
Man, if
Not like an actual
man.
fight, but you know how.
But yeah, look, yes, a scuffle.
Yeah, the
yeah,
little
it's
elbows. The shoulder to the shoulder.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Watch, we
man.
gonna see all kind of memes of when Draymond put him in that chokehold. We're gonna see all that popping up tonight. Yeah,
That was
it's gonna
fun.
be fun. That was hilarious. That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
You know what? Seeing that, the still shot of that shows you how big of a man there is.
Yeah.
Because Draymond, like the little brother that finally got the great brother from behind, he's holding him back. But Gobert is so big, it made Draymond look so small.
Oh man.
That's gonna be funny.
I can't wait. But then we gonna see Ant guarding Steph.
I'm interested in Jimmy Butler because I think we'll probably see that a little bit more.
Yeah, because Jaden McDaniels, he'll be guarding. Steph. They got enough bodies to throw at him.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure at some point we're gonna see Ant-Man and him doing the same thing he did to LeBron. Hey, watch out, I got him.
Yeah.
And them two fighting over who or who.
Right now, matter of fact, let me pull this up.
Yeah,
Since
Ant-Man
all
was
the
put on the
matchups.
show. And I'm gonna say something bold right now. He has the opportunity to have a Dirk Nowitzki type run, right? No one had. Everybody respected the Mavs, and nobody had them winning it that season. They went through Kobe and the Lakers. They went through Miami Heat. They went through OKC. He has the opportunity to go through Bron and Luka, right? Then Jimmy Butler and Steph.
Yep.
OKC had one of the best records of all time, right? They only lost 14 games.
Yep.
So and then being able to beat the defending champs and the Celtics, if they get to the finals, that would be the best run. That would be the best run since Dirk.
And he would officially be the face of the league. Like it'd be without question. If he made that run and win a chip, it would be no debate. We wouldn't be talking about Tatum. We wouldn't talk about anybody else but Ant-Man. Then we just need him to have a good, quiet summer. That's it. He'll be the face of the league.
Well, baby.
A good, safe summer. A good,
right.
Protected
full of
summer.
full of contraceptives.
Right. No, just if she have another, the one baby, that's fine. She can have another one. No that's coming out of the woods and hey man, look, hey, you brother.
He just gotta stay out the news. That's
it.
all I gotta do. Just stay out the news. Let everybody praise him for this great run that he's potentially go on. So now we got it all. We got the bracket set now.
Yep.
In 45 seconds, that is, but it's official. We got the Thunder Nuggets, Timberwolves Warriors, Cavs Pacers, and Knicks Celtics. And that's tight. That's tight right there.
Yeah,
Which series do y'all think is gonna be the best series of the second round?
Woo.
We got Thunder, Nuggets, Wolves, Warriors, Cavs, Pacers, Knicks, Celtics.
I'm gonna go East and I'm gonna go West. On the East side, definitely Celtics and Knicks. Jalen Brunson's exciting to watch. Really want to see him go after the defender.
Oh, somebody must have called him. But well, I'm gonna just starting them up.
Go ahead, you got it.
You said what? Yeah, I think it's gonna be out east for sure. That Knicks and Celtics. The nostalgia that surrounds that, like a Knicks Celtics series, and both teams are good. And both teams, I could see both teams coming out of the East. Obviously not both, but I'm just saying either one of them. I think that the champion of the East is coming out of that series. I think it's gonna be the Knicks or Celtics. But out west, I mean, I guess I already started off talking about the Draymond and Rudy matchup and all the antics that's gonna be going on. But outside of that, I think it's gonna be a good series with just between Minnesota, a younger team, going against the OG Golden State Warriors, who they'll be the only team. No, I ain't the only team. I mean, got championship experience, but the championship experience, I think, is going to show. And as much as I would like to see Minnesota go on this run, I think the Warriors stop them. I think the Warriors stop them.
You don't think Ant-Man gonna split another one?
I hope he proves me wrong. But I just, is he gonna sweep through all, the legends of this past era? That would be dope. But just, put out KD last year, put out LeBron this year, and then put out Steph in the second round. That's tough. That's tough. So that, just because of all that or whatever, like, I do think Minnesota is the better team, but I do think Minnesota will lose that series against the Warriors. I don't know if you heard that, Jelani, but I think Minnesota the better team, but to see Ant, I don't think Ant is going to. I mean, he may be. I hope he does. But he knocked out KD last year, knocked out LeBron first round, then go with the trifecta and knock out Steph. That's gonna be tough. But who you got, Dalen? Your favorite matchup coming up?
Man, I'm gonna go completely left. I'm going completely left. I think the OKC and the Denver gonna be an interesting series.
It is.
I ain't gonna say I only say that, but I look at the experience factor, right? It's kind of similar to what we watching in this Houston and Warriors series. You got Joker, you got Murray, you got Gordon, you got what's his name, Michael Porter Jr. You got some guys that on a ship that got experience on their side and they healthy. OKC is who OKC is. I think all the pressure is on OKC, and I think the Nuggets is playing with house money. So whatever they get at the series, it's a win for them because they ain't even supposed to beat them based on what OKC record is this year. Right. So I think that's gonna be an interesting series. Might even jump out there again, but I'm gonna take Denver in the series.
You got Denver, huh? Got the upset. So you got an upset.
With the upset.
I'm picking the Warriors were the 7th seed, so they would be upsetting Minnesota. So 2 upsets. You didn't make it to your West teams, Jelani.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that OKC and the Nuggets series. You know, the Nuggets, they play an exciting brand of basketball. Their last series with the Clippers was really exciting. And then, you know, you got the two MVPs going head to head.
There you go.
So we don't know who's going to get MVP, but we can determine who the real MVP is after this series, right?
Good point.
When they go head to head. So I really want to see that. I'm gonna pick Denver to win the series. And I know you've been rocking with OKC. I know
Yeah.
you've been rocking with OKC, and I'm not, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the finals. But I'm just picking the experienced team, and I think Jokic is the best player. So I'm going with them in a tight one. It'll be another 7-game series, back-to-back 7-game series for the Nuggets.
Man, that's tough. No, that's a good point. And like, can you imagine when they announce, you know, which either one, whoever's the MVP this season, the other one is gonna come into that next game, you know, with a bigger chip on their shoulder and go, you know, you said what?
When do they typically do that announcement? Do they do it during the second round?
Yeah, so they've been flip-flopping. It's usually the second round, but I remember for a couple of years they was doing it like early. It's like in the first round, but they haven't announced it yet. So I'm sure it'll be during that series.
Okay.
And so whoever, you know, and I don't know if we ever had that situation where the two MVPs were in the series at the same time as, you know, the award being announced.
Right.
So that's gonna be, you know, that's gonna be interesting to see. So it is gonna be a little extra over there. You know, Denver over there, they got championship experience. OKC got championship aspirations. And, you know, the two MVPs of the league, two best players in the league this season, head to head. And I agree. Whoever is the best player in that series, that team is winning.
Yeah.
And if it's Joker, then, you know, he should have been the MVP or should be the MVP.
Right.
I feel it. And then I add one more thing about the Nuggets. The other reason why I'm taking them is because I believe in their supporting cast more. I believe in Jokic supporting cast. I believe in Murray, bro. He's clutch. And I think he's one of the most underrated players. Or even Aaron Gordon, right?
Yeah.
He might have saved them the whole series from that play.
He did. Yeah.
Because they go on to overtime, they might lose that game in overtime because the Clippers were hot. So when you got guys like that making those type of plays, you know, last minute, not sexy type of plays to win a game, I mean, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I apologize for all the screaming and hollering in the background. You know how it is, Mark.
Yeah. No, I can't even hear it right now. Probably won't hear it till like the playback. but I'll hear nothing.
Right. Hey, but I do got to say about this now. I don't know if y'all caught the game earlier today, the Indiana and the Cleveland game. I think that's going to be another interesting series. And because Garland didn't play tonight.
Right.
And that was a pretty close game. But I think that can be an exciting series too. I'm gonna take Indiana, because I mean at this point, man, people gotta really start giving Hallenberg his just due, man.
Yeah,
that dude, he's been pretty consistent throughout these playoffs, and even coming from last year, he's been consistent. And I think in that what is the mid-season tournament, when they losing to the Lakers, that mid-season championship, you see him kind of extend into that role as the Indiana's go-to guy. And he hasn't taken a back seat to nobody. He hasn't taken any step backs. He's only been progressing, and you know, and he's been consistent. So I like that Indiana matchup because I do think that I think Cleveland is probably the more talented team.
Right.
But I think Indiana is Indiana. They hard-nosed, blue-collar, tough dudes that just play basketball the right way.
Yep.
So
I think
no, you got
to add to your point about Tyrese or whatever, like I understand a lot. Like they had him rated the most overrated player or whatnot, and I think a lot of that goes into just him not having what everybody say having a bag or whatever, and he definitely has his limitations or whatever, but nobody said he's the best point guard in the NBA, but he's a true point guard. He's a great facilitator. He can knock down big time shots. He can get to the bucket just like he did in that game 7, victory to close the game winning basket or whatever. Like he's had plays where he's been clutch throughout his career, and he's had plays where he didn't show up. And I think he's more kind of right where he should be. I don't think he's underrated. I don't think he's overrated. I think he's a good player in the NBA, but I think people just hate him. I think they just hate him.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing I'm trying to figure out. What is it? Is it hate? Or is it just like I don't like the way his breath smell? Or I don't like cereal. I don't like how his shoes up. His game is not like, and I don't really see him getting a lot of like commercial publicity. You know what I mean? I don't feel like he's getting pushed in our face to be like, hey, take him on. This is who we want you guys to look at.
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out. And most of the time when it's people like, or not people, but when there's like a disdain, hate, it's never for the actual reason why you dislike this person. It's almost
that's what I've been trying to figure it out too, because when the Kings traded him away for Sabonis,
yeah,
it seemed like Kings fans just started hating him. And I was like, it ain't like he asked for a trade or anything. He was happy here.
Right.
He just got traded. But I feel like he's just one of those people that, I don't know, people just don't like him for whatever reason. He got the different voices like Karl Anthony Towns or whatever, and he's light skinned with a good hairline, but I don't know, man, cause I like him. I don't
know. He must be related to Drake or something.
They might like him if he was.
Right. I know, right? I don't know. It's weird because I think he's a good player. I don't think he's one of those. But then again, this is speaking from outside looking in. We don't know what that NBA circle is like.
Right.
Well, I don't. So
right.
I see how people that's within that NBA circle can have this off feeling about him, but watching him and listening to him talk, watching these documentaries, the US documentary, I didn't see anything that would be like, well, I can see why they dislike him.
Right.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's kind of the hot take. Indiana beating Cleveland. I'm not against seeing that, but it goes back to Mark, what you've been saying the last week, the disrespect of the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're basically the East version of the Thunder.
Yeah,
they damn near got the same record, young team. And I picked OKC to lose, and then you picked Cleveland to lose.
Cleveland to lose, yeah, it's the same thing.
Disrespect again, but hey, man, I gotta see it to believe it.
There you go.
Especially in the NBA, because it's 7 games. It's ain't like the NFL. You hot, NBA. The better team is gonna win 90% of the time.
Right, and it's all about matchups. That's all it is.
There you go, and I think that's what we're seeing, right? And I think to me, this second round, and me being a Laker fan, I honestly think that all these games in this series are perfect matchups. Because I think what we're gonna get it. With Denver and OKC. I mean, that's your experience versus inexperience. The young hot team versus the team that's been there, and they're kind of at their full strength right now. And
right.
Got this Minnesota and Warriors both defensive sound.
Mm-hmm.
They got a young star and that's coming up, and then you got Steph, who Steph is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Series to me, this is just me, are like perfectly matched for like a good 7-game run for a lot of these games in this series. I don't see no sweeps.
Yeah,
No.
I'm with you. I don't think there's gonna be no sweeps. It's gonna
It may
be
not even be any gentleman sweeps. It might be all 6-7
6 and
games in the
7.
series.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Nah,
Yeah,
cause I'm like I got Pacers beating the Cavs, and obviously the Pacers won today. You know, and you know it was a good game, but Pacers pulled away and held on to the victory. But Cleveland is going to make adjustments. They're going to play better. I am slightly concerned with. I know they said Darius Garland could play in game 2. And just whenever you bring in, even if it is one of your stars and better players, when you bring them in, they've been out a few games. The chemistry is off just a little bit, and I think with bringing them back in, I think maybe that might be just enough, confusion in their chemistry for the Pacers to steal another game and somehow squeak by and win the series. But I think they'll win it in 7. But yeah, it's completely disrespectful to the Cavs because they're so good. I was just watching them. I was watching them today, even though they lost. But I'm like, man, these dudes, they got shooters. They got the defensive player of the year. They got Donovan Mitchell, who could go off for 40, 50 points. Ty Jerome, 6th man of the year or 6th man of the year candidate, because I think Pritchard won it. But it's a good series. But like I said, I think the champs, well, not the champ, the Eastern Conference champs, is gonna come out of that New York Boston series. If New York get past Boston, matter of fact, let's go. I say it now. Let's get controversial. Let's get some hot takes in there. I got the Knicks beating Boston. I say it.
Okay.
Let's say it. Coming in hot.
That's tough.
In the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Patrick Ewing.
Yeah. Hey, what with my boy Jeff Van Gundy? Jeff Van Gundy was the coach, and they'll be back. They will be back in
1999, bro.
Knicks in 7.
They haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals in this century.
Jalen Brunson.
I would love to see it. Hey, look, I'd love to see it. I don't think it's happening. I got the Celtics in 6, but New York, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Prove me wrong, New York.
Right,
man.
That's but that's not like I said. I really think that this is like these games are very closely matched, and I can't see New York, but I can't say I can't see New York, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Nah, I get it.
Wholeheartedly, I got all my money. I'll bet my house on Houston to win, or I'm sorry, the Celtics to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see them not lose.
Right.
Because the Knicks are playing good basketball, and to come out a tough series like that, a very close series, and then your momentum is already going and you already amped and you just gain some more confidence, that can go into a game where a team that's been sitting for a while catch them off guard and sneak one away. That's all you need. You just need one away.
That's it. That's it. So they gotta go get game 1.
Right. To me, this will be their best bet to win a game in Boston.
Game 1, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Game 1. Cause they got momentum going right now. The machismo is really high right now with New York. They feeling themselves.
Yeah.
They best chance game 1.
Can y'all imagine if New York go back to New York for game 3 with even if it's a split, if they go back to New York 1-1, you know how crazy that environment is gonna be for Game 3 in New York.
That's a
gonna be
game. That's a
insane.
game you want to be at.
I was just
Yeah.
I would love to go to that game.
Man, just to be around. I'm like when the Kings finally broke their 20 or 17-year whatever non-playoff streak or whatever. That game 1 against the Warriors a couple years ago, it was like the NBA Finals. Like it was bands. They had the streets blocked off. It was bands walking around. It was crazy. That's how New York will be. New York, and just on a whole nother level. They might do fireworks after every game, and billboards be lit up. Knicks this, Knicks that.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be crazy. That's why I want, and I'm here for. I want to see it. So that's why I'm picking. Even though, so my brains is telling me. My brains tell me the Celtics is gonna win, but my heart. My heart want to see the Knicks in the finals. That's what my heart want to see. I want to see Knicks, OKC.
Hey, man, Latrell Sprewell ain't coming back, man. All right? He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. The Braves is over.
Not Latrell Sprewell. Who else was on that team back in the day?
And Allen Houston.
My man Allen Houston had a nice jumper.
Sprewell, Larry Johnson, Pat Ewing. Anthony Mays, I think he on that team.
That's
just
crazy.
One of them.
Just dogs.
Man. Chris Childs, Charlie Ward.
I don't really like. Hey, look. Ever since my boy Kobe got 2-piece, I got a real RIP to my dog Kobe Bryant. Me and Chris Childs ain't got no relationship. Now, hopefully I can just shake your hand. I ain't like how you pieced my boy up, man.
Oh man, hey, it came out of nowhere too. It was like, look, I remember when it happened. I felt like I was more surprised than Kobe was. It was like, and it was too quick. Too, like he hit him so quick. I don't even know if Kobe felt him. It was just like, remember when Chris Tucker got kicked on Rush Hour and he was like, which one of y'all kicked me? That's how I think Kobe felt at first, because it came out of nowhere.
And they was straight right behind the other. Whap, whap. Never. Chris Child and a couple people before, man. They ain't his first go around, man. But yeah, hey, I'm more interested to see what Stephen A. Smith gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh, ain't no telling what he gonna do, man. He
gonna come in here. Maybe not a little Latrell Sprewell. Let's see who what think that he'll come in with a jersey on. Which one? Somebody give me one.
They will shut down First Take if they win. The whole episode will be dedicated to the
Madison Square Garden. That's where they'll move it to Madison Square Garden. He'll be
as they should.
Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope.
How long has it been since the Knicks won? It's the 70s, right?
It has to be like back in the, because what is that one game that they always talk about, the Walt? Is it the Walt Frazier where he walk out with the broke leg?
Willis Reed.
Yeah. It might be that year.
Was Jackson on that team?
That was the 70s, bro.
Yeah, before him.
Man, they haven't won since my mama was in the kindergarten. Like,
Lord,
I'm not even exaggerating right now.
Yeah.
That's longer than the Raiders won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I think the last one we won was 80.
That
was it 85? 83.
How do you become a Raiders fan when when y'all been bad like the whole time? Like, how do you become a Raiders fan?
You don't become a Raider fan, man. You born a Raider fan, dog.
That's insane. Damn, that was a red Raiders hat?
A red Raiders hat. TV.
I had no
Raiders,
idea.
man. Raiders got me stressed out.
I did not know that was a Raiders hat.
I didn't either.
Man, don't have me pull out my Raider poncho. Got a Raider
Got
poncho,
the
man.
poncho.
Poncho. You born
That man got a red Raider
don't
hat.
just
I didn't
wake
know
up.
that existed.
You don't
I
just
never-
like, you get up, you look at the TV, and be like, "Oh, those is Raiders. I want to be a fan." Man, when you come out, boom, when the doctor slap you in the butt, you automatically just say, "Just win." Just win.
Oh
You
my
don't
god!
cry. You just say, "Just win."
I had no idea that was a Raiders hat, bro. That's
Man. Since I've been watching football, y'all probably had about 4 decent seasons. 4 or 5. I mean, y'all, when y'all had Jerry Rice, Rich Gannon, Tim Brown, y'all had a good 2 years. And then Derek Carr got y'all to the playoffs twice. That's all I can remember is them 4 seasons.
Hey,
oh my god, that's
this.
whew.
You're a stressful fan when you're a Raider fan.
Hey, the Raiders and Knicks, man.
I was
the last time the Knicks won, who you said what, the 80s?
Well, he said
70s.
Yes, 1973. That was the last time they won.
Damn, my mama was really in kindergarten. My mama was 5 in 73.
73. God.
Sorry for aging you, Mom, on the worldwide internet. Women don't like that. Women don't like that.
Right?
My mom was in high school, so we just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
My mom was in high school at that point.
Oh yeah, I got young parents, man. I got real young parents.
Oh my god. I'm going for the underdog. I'm going for the underdog. I got Knicks, except when it comes to the West. In the West, I'm rolling with me, OKC for me. But I'm going with Warriors over Minnesota. I'm going OKC over Denver. I'm going Pacers over Cavs and Knicks over Boston.
Damn, Mark, me and you got total almost every series different except the Warriors over the Timberwolves. So somebody gonna be one of us is
somebody
really
gonna be wrong.
Right.
Somebody gonna be wrong.
And that'd be crazy that all the so-called underdogs pull out wins this series. That would be
right.
Because then at that point anything goes. Because I mean you can't put a definite on team is
the
going.
Wolves and Warriors. That's not an underdog situation at all. I think that's a 6 and a 7 seed.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other 3 got obvious underdogs.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, that was the thing about the West. Like that, those seeds was only separated by the game. The game.
It didn't matter.
It didn't really matter who was next to who. But yeah, you're right. And I mean I don't know. This is kind of a hard series. This is kind of a hard series to bank on unless you got like you got somebody you pulling or rooting for. For me, I'm not rooting for none of them. I will say I'm leaning to Ant Edwards because I mean that's like he embodies what some of my favorite basketball players embody.
Right.
And I want to see that. You know what I mean? Like even going back to the what was on the walls, he reminds me and he gives me some of what KG was. Not nothing. Going at it, playing in a very tough Western Conference, but ain't backing down from nothing.
Yeah.
I just like that in players. You know what I mean? So outside of him, it's kind of a toss-up, but I do like what Ant Edwards possessed and as a basketball player, as a person. You know what I mean?
I agree. You know it's good with him because he's walking around in the streets of LA talking shit.
Fearless.
and people still not just that, but I'm talking about the fans of LA. We were still like following him around, trying to talk to him. He was like,
Yeah.
"What y'all
In
doing with
awe.
me? We just beat y'all." But
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's because of you.
Mhm.
Everybody, like real basketball fans, real hoopers,
Yeah.
Mamba mentality type of fans, we identify with Anthony Edwards. So
Yep.
Yep.
I'm rooting, even though he beat us and eliminated us. I'm rooting for him.
When was the last time as a Laker fan that's happened where the team that beat y'all, that's the team y'all kind of rocking with?
Never.
Never.
That's how you
Not
tell what
once.
type of star power Ant got. Like
Yes.
Sure.
that, because
Bro.
I can't ever think of a team that beat the Lakers that was like, I'm kind of rooting for them. When Detroit beat the Lakers in the finals,
Ah,
I mean, it wasn't nobody on that team that I was like, I root for them.
I'm happy
no.
for him. Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
I still don't like that 04 Detroit team.
Me neither. I can't stand.
I don't like the Spurs.
Can't stand them. outside of you know what I mean, our town guys, Bruce Bowen. That's probably the closest, but even then, that was like, man, you bring a Spurs jersey around me if you want to.
Mr. Bruce.
You know what's funny? I think I had a Spurs jersey in high school. I don't know how I got it. I think somebody
Did
gave
you burn it?
and I had some black and white gray checkered pants. And the only time I wore it, don't get mad at me about my checkered pants. Time I wore it was because of that. And I don't even know why I even had it. And it's probably before the Spurs even started whooping the Lakers, but that's the only time I've ever had anything Spurs. Nobody.
See, Fame want Ant-Man to lose.
Nah, I feel it. I'm not like rooting for him, like, oh, I want the Timberwolves to win, but I would love to see him win. I'll be happy for him if he win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not rooting for anybody, but
yeah, I mean, eventually he's gonna become a Laker anyway. So we just waiting.
We waiting. And it's funny you brought that up because someone asked me about the post LeBron era a few months ago, maybe like November, December.
Yeah.
And like, who would you want to have? And the first name that came out of my mouth was Anthony Edwards. And then I said Luka. But I said, but we'll never get Luka. He not leaving Dallas ever. And then literally a month or two later, we got him. But I would love to have Anthony Edwards in the purple and gold, man.
Man, do you know how big he would be in LA?
Oh man,
probably too big.
With Luka,
that would be insane.
Yeah,
and you know,
man.
I think a young Edwards can probably get more out of a Luka than a aging LeBron.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I see exactly why you said they're gonna feed off each other's energy, height. They can hang out. They're the same age.
That he can he'll be able to pull. It's almost like you got on one hand you got a homeboy that's out there. He's talkative. He's a people person, and then you got the shy homeboy, right?
Yeah.
You start seeing this shy boy. Now he out talking to girls. Now he out in the middle of the dance floor, dancing, getting his groove on. But it's what that energy is like. You know, you have the yin yang, right? You can pull something out of somebody that it's in there, but they don't know how to come out.
Yeah.
I can pull it. So that's man, that would be a beautiful sight as a Laker fan.
Oh man, I'm buying all my kids Anthony Edwards jerseys if that happens. All y'all getting Anthony jerseys.
No Lucas, or do want somebody get Lucas? It's all Ant.
I mean, okay, maybe I'll give my daughter to Luka, but my boys they get Anthony Edwards. I'm like, if you gonna play any sport, this is the man. You need this attitude. My son got a Bron jersey. I don't think he could fit it anymore though. He got it. He was like 3. Nah, he can't fit that joint at all now. But my mom did buy him a LeBron jersey. So I think Anthony Edwards need to be the next one. Come on, Ant.
Go ahead, man.
Put the billboards up.
That's it.
Get Pelinka on the phone.
And look, and the cold part is we can get him in 6 years from now, and he only gonna be 29.
That's
so
crazy.
It don't gotta be now, and it could be 6 years from now. It could be 20, 30 something. Come on over.
We here.
That's crazy.
We right here.
So the back door is open. Well, front door is open.
Yeah.
We got it.
Whenever you're ready.
You want the stadium?
Whenever.
Edward Arena? Hey. Figure it out.
Man, I will be your personal assistant if you come to the Lakers. I will quit my job. You know, take you to the finest restaurants, whatever you need to go.
Sure, man, you sign me up for that too.
Yeah, man.
Hey, July, last time we was on, you said, and I remember we never got back to it, but I don't even know if you go remember, but you was like you wanted to talk about something about the Lakers and LeBron being put out in the first round or something like that, and I don't know if that was the angle, but it was something. But I watched it back and I was like, damn, I forgot to go back to that.
Nah, it was just frustration because our last 14 playoff games were 2-12.
Ooh.
2-12 our last 14 playoff games. So something has to give, right? We got swept by Denver, and then we lost to Denver the following year in 5, and then we lose to Anthony Edwards in 5. And yeah, I know we didn't have a big and all of that, but there's no reason to lose in 5. We actually at least been a 7-game series. We can blame, point fingers, but yeah, just as a Laker fan, it doesn't feel good to be eliminated in the first round or getting swept in the Western Conference Finals like 3 years in a row.
Right. That's crazy.
2-12. 2-12. When you have athletes like Bron and Anthony Davis, now Luka is like, nah, bro. That's not happening to teams with rosters that are not as good as ours. So
that's
something got to happen this offseason. Huh?
That is a stat.
2-12.
I didn't even know that.
Now, you know what? And this is something that I go back to. Is our expectations of LeBron James, is it screwed? You know what I mean? Just skewed, I mean. Because we got to remember, LeBron is in his 40s. And the common thing that I've been seeing out of LeBron these last couple of years is that he gives so much energy throughout the year in these first few games. And by the time we get to these crunch time games or these games that's on the line, he's tired. As no more.
And rightfully so.
You know, right. And it's with the Anthony Davis thing, we expected more out of AD. But I don't think we've ever really seen AD carry a team by itself like that.
Right.
So, you know, that's a element. And then you got LeBron that's in his 40s, but in his late 30s when he came to LA. You know, it's I think what we have to also take in consideration is that this man is he over the hill.
He's definitely on that other side.
Yeah, he on the other side, but he got the rope on the other side, and he's walking down. Right, that probably didn't well, but anyways, but he's walking backwards. He's like he's like, look, man, I only got so much time. I'm almost down at the bottom. It ain't too much I can do. So it's as a fan, you like, come on, man, give me some more. But at the end, it's like he ain't got it.
No, that's a real good point though, because like this, you know, usually you build your teams around your superstars.
Right.
And I think the Lakers, like, I think LeBron is at point of his career where, sure, you could build a team around him and they're, can make the playoffs or they could win. But again, we talk about Lakers, their identity is, championship or bust. Can you win? Can you build a championship team around LeBron at age 40? The answer should be no, because he's 40. You know what I mean? You should be building it. All LeBron is supposed to be doing is helping you get over the hump. Whatever your roster, the weaknesses your roster has, right. LeBron can fill in. He can fill in with rebounding. He can fill in with assisting. But being the best player on your team at 40 years old, that's a problem. And although you got Luka now or whatever, I still felt like LeBron was the best player on the team. And that a 40-year-old man can't be your best player. A 40-year-old man can't be arguably your best player. I think in order for Lakers to win a chip with Bron again, Luka, or if obviously I'm just video game world, you trade Luka for Anthony Edwards. Whoever comes in, they have to be the unanimous best player on the team in order for the Lakers to win, because LeBron at 40, he's going to get tired, and he should. He's 40.
Right. Let me ask y'all this: is it time for the Lakers to move on from Bron? And can the Lakers win with Bron a championship? Not be competitive. I know we could do that, but if we want to win a championship, right? Yep. Can we still do that with him?
I don't think we should move off from him, but I don't think we're gonna win a championship with LeBron at this age. Just because the energy ain't there. He don't have it, and you're not supposed to at this age.
Nah, it's not even a diss.
Right, mm-hmm. Right. And that's
it's just an observation.
Exactly. I'm a 38-year-old man. Mm-hmm. And look, I ain't got energy to go out there and play with these 15, 16-year-old boys. Games back to back to back. I may got a good 21. You ain't gonna get me tomorrow. My ankles, my back hurt. My arm hurt from shooting. Nah,
my arm hurts from shooting. That's some old man shit.
Hey, that's real. That's real, bro. That's real. Hey, you just joined the UNC club. You on your way to your arm hurting from shooting. Don't tell me that. You on your way.
When the arms are sore, okay. I'm looking at the bottom of the hill now, because when your back go out for nothing, I think I told you, I was picking up a shoe and my whole back went out. Pick up shoes.
Yeah, man.
LeBron, 40, 41?
He's just 40.
Yeah. He's just 40?
40.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that $1 million. He over there looking like, hey, should I say this $1 million?
Yeah.
$1 million.
I mean, and me and my boy, shout out to my boy Dogs. We was just talking about this, and he's here at the house right now. But it might be time. I think it's time for him, if he stays, if we keep LeBron, he need to be two things. He need to take a pay cut. And he got it, and I don't know if he's willing to do that. And I'm not mad at him if you don't want to. I get it, because I wouldn't take a pay cut for nothing. And he may need to be our third best player on our roster.
He has to be.
Right.
I think he wants to.
If we can make that happen, I'm good. But if we can't make that happen, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think it's not that he can't play or he's not good anymore. It's about winning championships. I'm strictly talking about championship level basketball right now. So
because it's supposed to switch now. It's supposed to switch right now. It's not, the topic has always been, can LeBron win the Lakers a championship?
And the
At
Lakers,
40, it should be the other way around. Can we win LeBron a championship?
And the Lakers win LeBron the championship. I like that.
That's what it's got to be now. And if he, like I said, if he's the number one option, it's not happening. You'll continue to have, 50 close to 50 win seasons, and then, 2-12 next year be 3-16.
right.
Until he retired.
Don't say that, bro. If that happens, bro, I would be furious. I would be furious.
And
yeah, we gotta make a deep playoff run. I was talking to these cats. And this is another. I'm about Uncle moment. I'm gonna share Uncle moment. I'm at a bar last night.
Oh, talk about it.
And it was some guy, some Asian kid doing his homework at the bar using Chat GPT. And I said, damn, when I was in school, we even had that. I wish we would have had that.
Man.
But we were talking about the Lakers, and bro, he was like even like young, like he was young, but he understood what it meant to be a Laker fan and Laker expectations, bruh. Is probably 21 years old, 22. He at the bar, so maybe 21, 22. But even he said it. It's time to reconstruct the roster, build around Luka, and we even talked a scenario about LeBron getting traded to the Cavs, so he could finish his career there, and maybe getting one of them bigs.
A Mobley,
and then getting and pulling off a Giannis trade or something like that. He mentioned that, and I was like, well, that's not a bad idea. I don't think it's happening. I think LeBron's staying in LA, whether he play another year, retire this offseason, or play another 3. I think it's going to be in a Laker jersey.
That'd
But
be interesting,
yeah, I'm like, I would take Evan Mobley.
for sure.
Yeah, no, because you like if it's a video game, man. Like if I'm a GM, I'm making video game moves, man. I'm like, shoot, I see, I appreciate what you done, but we try to go win some more chips.
Yeah.
So yeah, the world, y'all might hate me or whatever, but once we start winning, it's
like,
all is forgiven.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do is win. And right now they ain't winning. Right now, the Lakers they're the Lake Show. It's a show. You got, Luka over there, you got LeBron over there. But I think with having all these, these gigantic names, I think it gave fans a false hope of I feel like every Laker fan I ran into, started believing again and winning a championship this year. Even after, the trade with from Charlotte, the dude from Charlotte, Mark Williams, when that fell through, it still was like, no, it would have been nice to get him, but we winning a chip. I think the glam of, having so much star power, made everybody feel that way, and it was false. But you see, a team like Minnesota where I don't think anybody thought going into that series that it'd be over in 5 in favor of the Timberwolves. You know what I mean? I think I seen one matter of fact, shout out to Chris Hines. He's a assistant coach for the Timberwolves. He posted on his story that he had it was a list of all like the NBA analysts who picked Lakers in 5, Lakers in 6, Lakers, everybody. It was like 10, 15 people. Everybody picked the Lakers. Wow. And then Minnesota in 5. But I think, like I said, you hear Luka, you hear LeBron, and you see, the Lakers winning and being competitive, you automatically said this is the year, because it don't take much to get Lakers fans hyped up to think about a championship. But I think now, especially in this LeBron era, I think Laker fans are looking at it more, objective, and analyzing it like, nah, I don't think this is it. You
Right.
know, LeBron, he is 40. You know, maybe we should. Now you having conversations with a kid that's 21 years old. You know, those are the people that absolutely love Bron. You know, that's their
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. And for somebody like him to say, maybe we should move on from him or whatever, it's like they're understanding, like, nah, just because we have LeBron don't mean we're getting there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest disappointment to the Lakers, I'll be honest, is Austin Reeves. I think that was probably and I can see how some people can look at this Laker team and say we shouldn't have lost in 5. And I think a lot of that had to do with the surgence of Austin Reeves throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
He's now being considered the third best player on the team out of the NBA. He's really taken control throughout the season at points where he's showing he can be on this level.
Mm-hmm.
With the assumption of that this is going to carry on in this first series, we expected nothing less than truthfully, nothing less than a win in this round.
Right.
But because that was so up and down, so inconsistent, you start to see LeBron push a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now a little bit more energy throughout the series. Now he's realizing, and that's one of the things I recognize. He's realizing, like, oh, it's just me and Luka.
Yep.
Like, we get some quality play from players in spots, but
right.
the most part is just me and Luka. So it just wasn't enough. And a lot of it was because of, yes, Luka's lack of defensive skills that hurt us on the back end. Because he became the point where, no, we're going to attack him. Put him on the one. We want him. Everybody trying to play defense, but we know on this end, this is where we can exploit him. So kind of like what somebody was saying to you earlier is like orchestrated team around Luka. Well, that's defensive guys in the back end that can make up those spots. So do you get rid of LeBron and go back and get Anthony Davis? You know what I mean? That'll never happen. But,
hey, man, you want to come back, man?
It makes sense, right?
We're sorry.
That'd be crazy. I wonder what Rich Paul would say about that.
Hey, look, got nothing to say. Just leave.
Hey, but we've been running. We ran a little over an hour, and July, I know it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, bro!
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I like ending these with a tough question. Yeah. And since it's your birthday, this is highlighted around you. Your birthday present was a trip to Game 5, the Laker game.
It was
the season ending Laker game. I never experienced that as a fan, so I just want to know how did you feel going? And you had amazing seats, dude. I loved it. I'm sure the environment was great. It's your birthday and stuff. How did you feel when the clock struck 0?
Honestly, man, I mean, of course I was disappointed. Everybody in the arena was disappointed, but I had a good time. That's what I wanted to do for my birthday. And I made that decision before I even knew who we were playing. I know we're getting out the first round, but I'm still going to go watch a game in the first round just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. And Game 7 would have been tonight on my birthday. And once I realized I was going to go into a Game 5, Game 6, we down 3-1. Let me just buy the Game 7 ticket. I'm like, nah, I'm going to buy the Game 5 ticket. I'm not crazy. But it wasn't a good feeling, man. Like, folks were upset. Like, when you're in that environment, they cussing out JJ Redick. telling him to put in what's the other big we got that he wouldn't play? Hayes.
Jackson Hayes, yeah.
Right, you got there's young black men in there, old white women, everybody mad. Everybody was bro, we walked outside. F LeBron. I'm like, damn, y'all really just mad at LeBron right now. So I mean, me and my wife, we had a good time, man. We wasn't around no kids. I found good seats for cheap. I found good seats for cheap. So overall, I had a good time, man. And I had a few beers in my system, so I you know, a little numb to the pain and the loss. But I definitely want to go back next season. But I think that'll be my last time I play for playoff tickets, and it's an elimination game. I'll say that much.
Okay, all right. We on record with that one.
Hey, you learn mistakes.
Say that again. You kind of
you breaking up. You sound like
you breaking up. Nah, you breaking up. Well, we go get out of here anyways. But you know, I gotta close these things out with a tough question, whether it's at you or Dalen. I'm sure eventually it's gonna turn back on me. But
it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. But you know, until tomorrow or the next time. This is the closers. The Warriors take a 1-0, or the Warriors, not a 1-0, that was game 7. The Warriors advance to the second round to face the Minnesota Timberwolves. We will be there in stream, not in person, but on the stream. And until tomorrow, we're out of here.
All right, peace.